Hello, everyone, and happy Friday. Yes, it's actually Friday. I don't know how well you've been keeping track of the days, but it is a beautiful sunny day out, and I spent my day yesterday, even if it was a little chilly, out in the garden. I was so excited to see the plants starting to pop up around my yard, and I just took the time to get my hands all messy in the dirt and to start cleaning up those gardens, getting that spring cleaning going. And it inspired today's lesson. So today's lesson is all about Georgia O'Keeffe. Georgia O'Keeffe is one of my favorite female artists. She is an American modern artist. Really around the 1920s, during her time in New York, she started to really make a name for herself. And she is best known for creating her flowers, these enlarged flowers that fill up the canvas with beautiful colors. And she really used them as a way to express feelings. I would love to come clean your gardens, Katie, except you literally live across the country. Sad day. But it's good to see you. I'm very excited to show you a little bit more about Georgia O'Keeffe. So I'm going to start with one of these books that I just love. Now, these books here, called Getting to Know the World's Greatest Artists, these can be easily found online. And the neat thing about them, they have a bunch of different artists. They're really kid friendly. So I'm going to cover just a few pages of this one for you so that you can see it. And then from there, we're going to jump into a little lesson about how to create Georgia O'Keeffe flowers in your own home. So we'll go ahead and begin. All right. So Georgia O'Keeffe was born on her family's large Wisconsin farm in 1887. She would grow up to become one of America's most famous painters. Her clear, bright paintings show the beauty she found in simple, natural things around her. Make sure you can see it. There we go. Georgia loved to paint flowers, mountains, seashells, and even animal bones she found in the desert. Even though Georgia was interested in all kinds of natural things, she hardly ever painted pictures of people or animals. Georgia often rearranged the natural things she saw and simplified them. She made seashells very large to give a special power and strength. Sometimes she painted shapes and colors that she saw in her mind. The farm where Georgia grew up was a great place to learn about nature. She wanted to touch and feel everything she could get her hands on. Georgia remembered that when she was very little, she even put dirt in her mouth to see what it tasted like. And this will be our last slide for now. Georgia usually made her flowers very large. She hoped that they would make people feel the same wonderful way she felt when she looked at all real flowers. Georgia thought her large flowers might even get busy New Yorkers to stop and notice. Georgia's paintings got attention right away. At first, people were curious to see the work of a woman artist. In the 1920s, there weren't many well-known women artists. It didn't take long for people to realize that Georgia O'Keeffe wasn't just a woman artist, but she was a great American artist. So we can learn very quickly that Georgia O'Keeffe was a very, very important artist in America for women. Let's talk about how we can create some Georgia O'Keeffe work at home. Now, as I always say, let's use what's available to you. Now, if you have crayons available, let's go there. Oil pastels, watercolors, paints, you name it, that's up to you. What I want to give you guys is the foundation for which you can build on top of. So this is our example for today. And we're going to talk about the basic shapes we used, and then you can use whatever materials you would like to fill it in. Now, today I started very simply with a nice circle in the middle. And that circle could be filled, hi Samia, how you doing, girl? That circle could be filled with little seed pods or whatever you want to make it look like depending on the flower you're going for. I kind of made it my own today. Now, the big trick to Georgia O'Keeffe's work is that these flowers filled the page. Now, when we say fill the page, that means that the flowers aren't just these little things that fit in the middle, that they come off the page. And that's something called cropping, when the picture is bigger than the page allows. So what I did here is I started to build my flowers using these curved petals, just like we would, but instead of finishing them before the page end, I had them come off the page. I also used overlapping, where sometimes the petals look like they're on top of each other. So whatever whatever petal is behind it, you kind of just let it peek out from behind and continue. And you're going to work your way all the way around building petals. That could be just like a nice little circular shape or oval shape. You could also make them a little bit more wavy or fun depending on the flower you're making. And mine is just very simply 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 petals that just come off the page. So the basic template is that nice circular shape or whatever you want to do to create the center of your flower, and then build the petals coming off. Very, very simple start, and then you get to decide how you want to fill it. Markers or crayons or oil pastels, whatever is available to you. I opted to go with crayons for today. I have my basic pack right here, and it's just 8 colors. But look at what we were able to do with them. Now with the crayons, I knew I wanted my flowers to feel warm because with the summertime coming, I'm thinking warm. So I wanted to go with reds, which is one of the warm colors, and oranges, which was one of the warm colors. And then I also wanted to pick a color next to red on the color wheel, which I'll include a link for you guys on the color wheel so you can start to think about that. And I chose to go with a little purple. So purples and reds and oranges, and for maybe our older elementary learners, you might know the word analogous. Analogous are colors next to each other on the color wheel. So I used those colors to start to create my flower. On the inside, I opted for some browns and some yellows. And then from there, I wanted to use cool colors. Cool colors are the colors like greens and blues, and starting to create those for the background. And I figured that by using those colors on the background, it would allow my flower to stand out. Here are some examples. This is taking it back. I found, again, I'm limited on my examples. A lot of them are at school, but this is a lesson that I did with little ones back at Bay Arts. This goes all the way back. Oh my goodness, so long ago. But I love these examples. And these ones we did crayons first, and then we added watercolors to get these beautiful, beautiful final products. So here's another one. I am sure this student is probably in high school right now. And like, why are you showing this? But these are some examples from back in the day. This was me, 11, 20, 12. This is what I had available. So anyways, that's what we have for this lesson today. Georgia O'Keeffe, super simple. Build your flowers, create some fun final products, experiment with mixing colors depending on how they make you feel. And if you are done, what I would highly recommend, and something I've been seeing in different communities, start to put your artwork in the windows. Show it off. We can't necessarily see each other. Colton, absolutely you can share the lessons, 100%. You can't necessarily see each other with social distancing, but you could always put your artwork up in the windows and start to share it with people who are walking by. That would be something I highly recommend. So that's what I have for Georgia O'Keeffe and my elementary learners. Hang tight for just a few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this one and jump back in. I also have another secondary lesson today. This one's geared towards middle schoolers and high schoolers. So hopefully I can connect with you guys again soon. As always, send me your request. If you have any questions, let me know. And please stay safe, make good choices, and happy creating. Good luck.